What's up, everybody? Malik here, and welcome to the final day of the opening week of Stage 4 here at the Overwatch League. Later on today, we got a rematch of our Stage 1 finals between the NYXL and the London Spitfire, but we are kicking off the day with a matchup between the Philadelphia Fusion and the Florida Mayhem. Now, the Philadelphia Fusion earlier this week, they snapped the regular season streak from the Boston Uprising, but they still need every win they can get to get into the playoffs. And the Florida Mayhem, they played against the NYXL earlier this week, and though they lost the match, they played pretty strong, so I imagine that the chances of them still in this match against the Philadelphia Fusion are they're pretty strong. But this day is actually kind of a special day because the Overwatch team is here, and they're going to be revealing some new Overwatch anniversary content live here today. So that's something to be hyped about. We're going to be revealing the first portion of that content during halftime, so you're going to want to stay tuned. Yo, Blizzard Arena, you guys excited about that? I'm pretty excited about that. It's going to be a glorious Saturday, so let's go ahead and get this payload moving.
Blizzard Arena, how are my people doing? It is Saturday, and we are celebrating the anniversary, the second anniversary of Overwatch here at the Overwatch League. I'm your host, Chris Puckett, and I've got the boys with me again today. It's Crumbs, it's Sideshow, and fellas, we're gearing up for another set of awesome matches.
We really are. Yeah, this playoff hunt that's happening at the moment with the teams in the middle of the pack is so tight between some of the teams that are playing right now. Every game from now on is a must-win for teams like the Fusion and the LA teams.
Crumbs, last time we checked in with you, you had just unlocked Masters in ranked. Are you still there today?
I lost it that same day, Puckett. I lose it and gain it every single day, so I'll get it back tonight.
Don't worry, I climbed back out of gold last night at midnight. Let's get into the matches that we're going to see today, played by the pros, though. A little bit later, we got the Valiant fighting for the #1 spot in the Pacific Division, and of course, the rematch from Stage 1 between the Spitfire and the NYXL. But we kick things off today with a squad that is looking to finish Stage 4 strong and lock up their spot in the playoff. The Philadelphia Fusion are currently tied with 3 other teams at 19 wins. They face off against the Florida Mayhem, who are looking to play spoiler. But Josh, looking at these standings, this is not an easy path for the Fusion here on out.
No, it isn't at all. And the Philadelphia Fusion are going to be gutted if they slip out of this playoff race because they had so much potential. They're in the finals of Stage 2 as well. And look at the teams that are right behind them. The Outlaws, the Gladiators, they both look really good this patch, this meta. And the Soul Dynasty are slipping as well. So we could well see the Fusion and the Dynasty be overtaken here in Stage 4. That cannot happen if you're a player for the Fusion or the Dynasty.
Well, you know that
is so bad.
Billy has over 16 games gone to Game 5. That means that they're really not going with dominating wins. They're barely scraping by a lot of these times, so they need to just step it up massively to make sure that that map differential goes in their favor at the end.
Not only do the Fusion need a match win today, they want as many maps as possible, as we want to see the tiebreakers go in their favor a little bit later on. But the team looking to play spoiler is the Florida Mayhem, a team that matched up against the league's best squad, the New York XL, but they ran a missing player in their lineup. Where was their star Widowmaker?
Right. When they played against New York XL, it was so surprising that even Jonak, the league's most likely candidate to be an MVP, the best Señata, he thought, oh, well, without Saya player, this is going to be a lot easier. This guy's Widowmaker is unrivaled. It actually has beaten every single Widowmaker in 1v1 duels in the league except Hines. So I think that if Mayhem have a chance at winning today, it will be because Saya player pops off.
I've actually been pretty impressed with the Florida Mayhem in their previous match against NYXL. Even though they weren't running Saya player, they weren't running off the back of...
bopped by Pine.
Yeah, I don't mean their individual skill, but actually the team seems to be somewhat decent at strategy. I feel like they've got that down to some level. I think they're still a team at the bottom of the league, but they're making improvements to their overall teamwork, and if they can get Saya player back in, maybe he's the punch, the X factor they need to be able to deliver upsets to these top teams. It's been a while since they've had a win against anybody who's outside of that bottom 3.
You look back at the early parts of the season, Florida Mayhem had the fewest players of any roster. They've added the pieces. Will they use them? That's the big question today. For the Philadelphia Fusion, though, this is the squad that really has the pressure. You got the Gladiators in Houston right behind you, but if you watched the Fusion earlier in the week, they played Boston, and they looked some of the best we've seen them all season long.
Yeah, I think right now they've actually stumbled upon the final piece, very similar to what they did with EQO's introduction into the team. He comes in and all of a sudden they look that much better. I think Sato and Happa, the new tank and off tank for this team, playing both Reinhardt, Winston, and D.Va are going to make a world of difference. Not just because they're dying less than their counterparts, but because they're speaking Korean. These are Korean players, and Carpe, the star of this squad, he's going to have a much easier time communicating with these front lines.
I haven't actually seen Carpe sync up with them as much. It's more just been that Carpe destroyed by clicking on people very effectively. He had an unbelievable clutch at the end of Lijiang, but Sato and Hopper have yet to really make mistakes in a game. Yeah, they've only played one match, though. They're bound to make mistakes at some time. It's a process of figuring out what their weaknesses might be. It might be that when they play more aggressively, the Philadelphia Fusion, maybe EQO's playing the Genji, something like that, that Sato and Hopper are then kind of pushed a bit beyond their limit. Maybe they're just the best tanks in the world. I don't know. But we need to see more of these guys because they look good so far.
One of the things we know for sure is Stage 4 has shown us in the new meta, it's all about the Widowmaker. We got two great ones in the game today. And real quick, if you missed it earlier in the week, we got to take a look back at the work Carpe was doing. What was he popping off here on Lee J's tower? How does this man do this?
So the craziest thing about this isn't even just Carpe's ability to get a random 4K by himself, but the fact that the team came out and said, everybody thought the fight was over. He says, no, it's winnable. I'm going to do this, and just kills 4 people on his own and says, all right, we won this, guys. It was winnable.
The Fusion tweeted and they were like, Carpe was just shouting, winnable, winnable, winnable.
Right.
Any fight is winnable if you get a 4K with Widowmaker.
Yeah.
Any fight is winnable.
1v3 against a tank and a healer. That shouldn't happen. Guys, it's time to talk about our players and meet them in person. Are you ready, Blizzard Arena? Let's meet our first team of the day. Give it up for the Philadelphia Fusion. The Fusion, one of the biggest surprises in Stage 3. Such an awesome running earlier in the season. They've got a rock star in EQO. We've already talked about Carpe. Fellas, who is the best DPS player on this team right now?
I think right now it actually might come down to EQO. Not so much because he's actually mechanically, I'd say, better than Carpe, but because his flexibility allows him to be on the roster more than anybody else. He's playing the Brigitte, and he also is one of the only DPS in the league that can play D.Va. Nobody else can do that consistently. That's a huge pick.
Josh, you side with Crumbs. Would you rather have EQO?
Yeah, I think so. I think having EQO, he's a great caller. He's a really intelligent guy as well. He's confident. You know, he comes into these games and these fights, and I feel like he always brings that sense of we can win everything we go into. He has that kind of positive mentality about him that I feel you need. If you're in the middle of the table like Philadelphia Fusion are, you can't be thinking we have to not drop down. You have to be thinking I'm going into these games to smash them. I'm going to rise up the table.
And the best news if you're a Fusion fan, well, you got both players on your lineup, and you got the new tanks, as we mentioned. Sato in the mix here for Stage 4. Happa back in the lineup playing that D.Va role. We're going to see what they bring to the table today. That's a look at the starting 6 for the Fusion. It's time to find out who will they be playing on the other side of the stage as we bring in the Florida Mayhem. Tavik once again leading the charge. We see Manitin in the mix. Zuppe there once again. Awesome guy though, and instead of Swoosh.
It's fantastic that we get to see Saya players starting. However, I'm really disappointed with Florida Mayhem. They started off being the team with the best walkout game. Every single time was diverse. They brought out a freaking palm tree to do their intro.
They did.
And now they're taking themselves too seriously. They're trying to win. The walkout game has weakened. Come on.
Yeah, you know why? Because they need their jobs next season
Right.
as well. they haven't been getting that many wins
Think of
this
our
season,
entertainment, Josh.
Okay.
We need to be entertained.
They're not entertainers. Crumbs, they're players. They have to get wins. And so far, the Florida Mayhem have struggled with that. They have just been kind of getting wins off the other teams at the bottom, your Dallases, your Shanghais. But they're now at a point maybe where they can start sealing upset victories of other teams. Maybe Shock on a down day. Maybe here with the Philadelphia Fusion. But for them, it's not so much of a must-win. For the Philadelphia Fusion, they absolutely need this to be able to get into the
it is a must-win for Florida. Morale-wise, though, like that's got to take a toll on you. You really need to start getting those wins in to start feeling good.
Mathematically, they got a lot less pressure. Josh, let's talk about the danger here on this squad. Who do you need to look out for on Blizzard World?
It's got to be Saya player. It's Widowmaker Central. Saya player v Carpe will be excellent.
Saya player versus Carpe. That's the first battle we're looking forward to. Blizzard Arena, make some noise. It's time for your first match of the day. And bringing you the action, we got Semler and Hex.
Thank you, Pocket. So, We are getting into the match now, Hex. It is going to be Florida Mayhem. I mean, they are bottom of the league right now, and so they don't really have much to lose. And when your back is to the wall, that's when things can get really dangerous. And so, you know, Philadelphia Fusion can't underestimate these guys.
Like a cornered animal.
Exactly.
You know? You're gonna
I wasn't going to call him a rat, but, you know, it's like they're the rats, man. You back up a rat to a corner, you don't get close to that rat, it's going to take a finger out.
I was going to go raccoon. You know,
there you go,
the industrious, you know, trash pandas that they are.
Yes.
That's
the only way. Raccoon should be thrown out. Trash pandas should just be the known name for
it. Is pretty much the nomenclature, at least on the interwebs. I think this Philly team has been playing really well, and I like the new additions that they made. They ended Boston's win streak. Boston had been dominant throughout all of Stage 3. Then Philly comes in and beats them 3-1 in very convincing fashion. I like the dive tanks they've been running on this team. Then, of course, you always talk about, you know, the dynamic DPS duo that this team has in Carpe and EQO. EQO can play everything. Carpe's been very good on a lot of things, and the desk nailed it on the head. If they're going to win Florida, that is, it's going to rely a lot on Saya player, but they're absolutely abysmal on hybrid maps. I believe their record overall on hybrid maps, is 5-26 throughout the season. That's a 16% win rate.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out why, and I think it's because like maybe they just don't have the versatility to switch from that first point attack to an actual escort kind of mode, but it's been one of their worst map types overall. We'll see how they can do here on Blizzard Worlds. They've struggled so far on this map, 0-5 overall.
Well, at least they get to start on defense, right? That is one of the things you can say, right? A little bit of an advantage to warm up, get your head in the game, figure out what you need to do. When it's your turn to switch over to the offense, you'll have your goal set. I mean, Florida Mayhem, they've got a lot of work ahead of them, as always. It's the same story, but Saya player, right? You can always count on this guy, kind of like Fleta for Soul. Very rarely will he have an off match. It's about the rest of his team now backing up to take advantage of the damage this guy is inflicting round after round. So here we go, Florida Mayhem on the defense, straight dive right up onto the top, and well, Florida, they don't want to have anything to do with it. They back off immediately.
Sato took a shot in right away. I've been so impressed with his play in the very limited play time we've seen him, but he just doesn't die very often as Winston, and it's been a big boon to his team. Helps out the dive DPS that they're going to be running here. So the meta has kind of settled down in a lot of ways, but Philadelphia, throughout most of the Overwatch League, they're not going to surprise people. They're going to dive you and they're going to kill you.
They're going to dive you, and yep, there you go. They're going to kill you. EQO starting that off, takes Zupe, but hey, freaking awesome guy, fight back. They're not going down without a fight here, Florida Mayhem. They managed to get 2 kills of their own to slow things down for Philadelphia Fusion, who are currently kind of camped out. This is going to make it awkward for anybody who reses for Florida Mayhem. If they die out there, they have to run back, and they have to run through the whole Philly squad.
They're getting a couple kills. It's just really interesting positioning here that now they have kind of swapped roles, defense in the offensive position. That Junkrat mine sends Tracer to the moon, but Sato gets in the backline again onto Zupe. There's no resurrection up for them to bring him back to life.
It's Fix still manages to take Sato with him, but this is looking great here for Philadelphia Fusion. Kill after kill for them, and they eventually do manage to clean up the defense. Florida Mayhem relegated back to spawn, and Philadelphia Fusion just looking great.
And it's the full rotation that you see from some dive teams to go all the way around and then take that high ground away. And when you're running in Orisa, you don't necessarily have the tools that you need to be able to take that high ground back away, because it's going to be Manitin all alone there. And now heading into second point, I believe we're going to see Carpe probably hit a pulse bomb at some point, or go for it at least, and maybe even switch to Widow. Second point's been so dominated with Widow Tracers, Widow and whatever, and going against a player like Saya player, he's going to send Carpe back to spawn. We might see him switch without even trying to use Pulse Bomb.
I mean, it is Pulse Bomb after all, right? Could be a game ender, could just be stuck against the wall, not really doing too much for you. EQO's got the blade as well, but there is not a trance because Zupe keeps getting focused down here by Philadelphia Fusion. No trance to cancel it out. And so once EQO realizes this, he could dive in and really do some damage.
So they're trying to find something all the way in the backline with the tire. EQO gonna take that tire down, and he's pretty pleased with himself to do just that.
Doing the happy dance. Doing the happy dance there for a second. I like it. More of that, EQO.
Boombox on the peak though, and then they get Neptuno right after he reses them, so now they're already down their Mercy. There goes their Winston. This push is effectively over.
Oh, well, there's the late kill onto Awesome Guy, but he's going to have a bit of a ways to run back. No, Zepazai is going to be able to get onto that payload, no way to punish, and he gets the res off. So Awesome Guy brought back into the fight immediately. And all 6 players alive here for Florida Mayhem, ready for the next push coming in from Philly Fusion.
They attempted a pulse bomb somewhere there, didn't necessarily see it, but here comes a blade out from EQO.
Yeah, oh, and he still finds value out of it. Saya player nowhere near the trance either. He's going to fall as well, decapitated. So EQO gets value in the end. We've got the wings out for Zebasai. Zupe dies to Carpe. Yet again, they're falling one after another here, Florida Mayhem. Despite the fact that Zupe did have the trance, as soon as he hears the blade, boom, he's tapping trance, but his team were so spread out, didn't really help him.
It feels like they're just going to run this pure dive. Carpet's had plenty of chances to switch off, but they've not needed to do so. EQO has been the one who's going to have to pressure down Saya. He's been able to do that a little bit, and now because of this pure dive, Tavik is going to switch onto the Brigitte.
Yeah. Oh, the one clip! That was good. That was clean. Not easy to do, but of course, Carpe, he'll deliver. Tavik does manage to get 2 kills to bring it back here. Awesome guy chiming in as well. So Florida Mayhem putting up a fight. Saya player is swapped over to Soldier, running back. He wants to get in here to just pump damage. But it's Hotba right now, finding the DMAC on Maniton and the further kill. Tavik trying to hold on here onto the point, and well, it's gonna make life difficult for Sato. Stuns him, and that sets it up for Saya player to find the kill there.
Kasai needs to get back in here, trying to get onto the points, but you don't necessarily see Soldier 76 a whole lot here. The self-destruct goes up over the top, trying to create space, and it's just ult after ult used on the point, but eventually that kill feed is filling with Philadelphia White.
Yeah, there we go. Carpe eventually, with the help of Papa, will find Saya player in the back line. And it is going to be Awesome Guy getting overwhelmed. So, second point picked up here for Philly Fusion. 15-player kill streak right now for Hotba. Well, it's not too shabby. I mean, Hotba hasn't died yet. That's always good for your Diva player.
Yeah, I've just been so impressed with the dive tanks of Philadelphia Fusion. They did not get any play time, really. Well, Sato didn't, of course. Hotba played very little throughout the first 3 stages. Sai is sticking on this 76, who, speaking of not getting much play time, he's a hero that we haven't seen a whole lot of lately, but he's so close to Tactical Visor that he wants to use it. Also, Tavik nearing that rally could be a big boon, so I think they're going to play a little passively, but it's difficult to even charge much going on with Brigitte if you're playing passively.
If you're not in the thick of it. I mean, he is there to boss the back line. We will have Side player going for the Tac Visor, overwhelms EQO with the help of Tavik. And while Side player is still looking for targets, but there's too much junk in the way. Does connect with the Helix, but that's not going to be enough to find the kill. Neptuno caught in the back line, though. He's flying away. Going to be able to regen that HP. Does manage to make it out of harm's way. No! Awesome Guy finds him in the end.
Neptuno wasn't caught in the back line. Neptuno went to the back line. He really wanted that resurrection. He is one of the gutsiest Mercy players in all the league. We talk about all the damage he does, but he also goes for these crazy amounts of res. And despite all of those characteristics about him, he also dies the least of any Mercy in the league. It's absolutely bonkers. You see that rally does come in, hits absolutely everyone. That's 150 armor on top of their health pool.
That is a lot, but hey, it's not going to save Tavik. Carpe is going to be there. EQO looking for the follow-up. EQO gets Zebasai. Got the follow-up on Zupe as well. Both of the supports dead for Florida Mayhem. The takes follow suit, and it's not looking good here for Florida on the defense. Philly Fusion now can make some real progress with this payload.
And you see that dive can still work even against a Brigitte, because if you can take her out or just dodge one of the stuns, you're fine. And also you've seen a lot of these dive heroes going in and getting the pocket. We saw it yesterday with Sinatra going in onto a Brigitte, but it didn't matter because he had a Mercy in his pocket, and Philadelphia continues to push.
Oh, there we go though. Tavik stepping up with the help of his team. He's gonna find 2 kills. And that will end things here for Philadelphia Fusion. We still have plenty of time on the clock, 1:30. To make the magic happen. Boombox and Neptuno getting close to their support ultimates as well is going to make it pretty easy here for Philadelphia Fusion. They're going to have quite a few tools to work with. If you look over at Florida Mayhem right now, the support ult's pretty far off.
Right, so EQO is going to switch to, well, he was on a Junkrat. They're going to switch into double sniper here at the last point. It seemed like there was a confusion. The call has been made to go to double sniper, a Widow and the Hanzo in the mix. Saya player instantly sees this and switches despite being close to another ult on Soldier 76.
There you go, and that's why wins the opening fight, the opening duel, takes Carpe out of it. And Neptuno will get the res off, bringing Carpe back. Saya player dies. That's a big self-destruct coming in from Hotba. A double kill there. We'll have Maniton throwing in his own mech, hoping to get it done, and not going to find anything with it apart from just, well, catching him in the corner. Awesome Guy punching him in the face, but again, no kill. This is EQO just still trying to crank damage out. If he can get that Dragon Strike going in the last 35 seconds that they have to make it happen here for Philly Fusion, that might be able to turn it around. And well, a pick on Awesome Guy to start it off. A Shatter Arrow point blank on Maniton as well is going to make him worried.
Yeah, scatter. Now you have a zoning dragon's going to put them all back to spawn. They're trying to get people off the cart so they can finish off these last couple of kills. Transcendence will come out though. Defender's advantage in full effect right now.
Yeah, excellent use of the Maniton. I mean, Maniton getting his mech back, but we had Trance that allowed for the res to go off. Zebasai now flying high with the wings out. And Florida Mayhem are stabilizing here. Neptuno will get the res off on Boombox, bringing him back into the fight, but Awesome Guy and Maniton decide it's time to take the fight to him. Boombox, you're brought back to life just to die horribly once again. And this is looking good here for the Florida Mayhem, who are finding kill after kill.
Hotba needs to live there. They are going to pop the Valkyrie as well to keep people alive. Maybe this resurrection can come in on Hotba. He can call down his mech and get a self-destruct, which will clear out the last bit of push that they need. Meanwhile, Sato comes in as well. They're going to have to deal with a self-destruct from Manington on the other side of things, doing good job getting kills and keeping pressure on this cart.
I mean, hanging in there, just surviving forever right now. Neptuno with the excellent heals. Self-destruct finds Zebo. Both supports dead here for Florida Mayhem is not going to make things easy for him. We have the rally getting thrown in by Tavik, getting that bonus armor out onto the rest of his teammates who are still in this fight. And I mean, this is a long, drawn-out battle with the defenders rezzing so close they can stream right back into it, but Philadelphia Fusion are doing a great job of hanging in there.
Sato has to jump in last second. The tank play has been so good again. Yet another dragon will rip its way through spawn, but these last couple of kills from Awesome Guy and Tavik could just finally close this one out.
Now, without Neptuno there, the heal's not going to be enough. And Philly Fusion will falter in the end, not picking up that third point despite it looking like they had the tools necessary to do so. So 2 points total here on the offense for Philadelphia Fusion. We'll get a replay of the Diva Bomb that kind of opened it up here at the beginning. That was right over the edge.
It's Hotba pushing it in right into the corner there. This spawn gets so tricky to try to come out, and that's just a huge zoning. Look at that angle.
That was perfect.
I don't know if I'm Zupe. I feel like I was around the corner. I swear I was around the corner.
I can only float so fast. I mean, again, there's an argument here for putting rocket boosters on Zenyatta.
Yeah, where's that sign today? Give Zen rocket booster.
That's serious.
Huh?
Why not? If Hanzo gets a dash, how the hell does a floating mech not have like little rocket booster, emergency booster on his back? Just zip around a corner real quick.
That was just an interesting last couple pushes too, because you don't see a whole lot of Soldier 76. I think maybe it's because it's kind of you can stay with your Brigitte as well, and just sit on front line, pump out a ton of damage going towards the back. I thought maybe it was, I mean, the switch initially seemed like it was coming out just to defend at second point. They had it contested, and you want to get back into the mix as soon as possible. And then he stayed on it for a little bit. So that's something we're going to have to suss out and see. And then going to the double sniper at the end, I thought was a good response. Saya, of course, versus Carpe was an interesting battle. I really thought the Diva play from both sides was pretty good as well. Hotba at the end got a big bomb in, got them a couple extra meters.
Yeah, I mean, EQO was farming dragons ridiculously fast. I mean, what, 3 dragon strikes in that space of that last fight? That means he is not missing much. He is hitting a lot of arrows, but wasn't enough to make the difference here for Philadelphia. They had 2 points in the end.
Yeah. It also shows you the power of Scatter Arrow as well, because he was sitting at like 71, then he hit 1 scatter and got his dragon strike.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Let's see. Philadelphia Fusion now switching over to the defense. It's going to be Florida Mayhem on the offense. Carpe with a bit of an aggressive peek to start things off. Doesn't find a target. So that'll slow things down. And, well, Tavik, nice knock. Gets Boombox onto the lower ground. The rest of the team have to follow.
That one ability just ruined their entire defensive setup, because knocking Boombox down, you can't leave him alone because Sai is on the Tracer looking to strike when that happens. And now they've been thrown into chaos. They're trying to retreat all the way back, but Tavik is chasing them.
Nicely done. Tavik there with the 1. That sets it up for Manington to finally get that kill on Boombox. Awesome Guy gets thrown to the Wolves, but it's going to be enough here. Point blank, very brave. Neptuno somehow survives it. Tavik not able to capitalize and get that kill on a Mercy who's rezzing point blank in his face.
No, Neptuno's a magician, an absolute magician, and not like the kind of like fun birthday party magician, kind of like the weird, creepy, how did you do that David Blaine magician, because that was impossible right there, what he pulls off. It's ridiculous, and I cannot believe the resurrections that he's able to pull off.
Harrison Ford's going to tell him to get out of his house in a moment here. I mean, ridiculous. Let's see now that EQO is back in here to just lob grenades onto the point. Look at this, just anti-air Junkrat, why not? Carpe gets Zevo, and that's going to make life difficult here for Tavik. EQO finally rewarded with that kill. The defense looking great here for Philadelphia Fusion. 2 minutes 35 on the clock here for Florida Mayhem.
Yeah, it looked so good, and you have to wonder how long they're going to stay on to the Pharah. You know, this is something that a couple teams have done. They'll still run Pharah into Widow, and they're just daring them. You got to play passively. You got to wait for the initiation to get Widow out of where she wants to be. Then you come in and hopefully hit the follow-up rockets, but that kill that he was unable to land on Neptuno is going to be haunting Tavik.
That was the golden opportunity, in all honesty. But time to shake it off, Tavik. Get your head in the game. You've got Barrage now. Hard to miss the Barrage. He's already got positioning, trying to get onto that high ground. EQO was looking to pressure that. EQO still kind of hanging around. He's got the tire, and he's going to be backing up, setting it up, but it's not going to be before Tvik does manage to find a kill on Hotpa with that barrage. EQO not going to get anything out of the tire either. And Philadelphia Fusion, what was looking like an excellent defense now, is starting to get a little bit thready here as they do manage to commit the Transcendence in from Boombox. EQO will find Manitin, so no fresh mech. And it's looking like Philly Fusion, despite it all, they managed to hold.
They're going around the back line, though, right now. They're trying to mess with the flank, and it's their Tracer, and they do find Zupe. That's who they're going after back there, who got cut off from the rest of his team. Sato gets in, Sato gets out. Sato just does not die all that often on Winston, at least in the first match that we saw.
Dude, Sato, his whole goal, his life's ambition right now is to sell Zenyatta for spare parts and to put Mercy 6 feet in the ground, because I mean, Zupe, every time he sees Sato, Sato's just jumping at him. He's died 9 times so far, and I think a lot of that is from Sato just stomping him into the ground.
He's been a little bit more aggressive, and now this hold is looking very good. Only 1 minute remains for Florida to take this first point. They're going to have Transcendence, and they're going to have Primal Rage, but they've made a couple of switches as well. I mean, Tvik has gone over to the Genji at 44%. It's possible he gets a blade during this. They're going to initiate with Transcendence.
Yeah, Rally is there, thrown out immediately. No hesitation here from Hoppa, trying to stem the tide at EQO. EQO gets overwhelmed, though. Saya somehow surviving. No, eventually the flail finds him. And we will have Hotpa just swinging away. Impossible to kill. He's going to be hanging in. Tvik trying to find what he can out of this fight. He will find the 1 kill, but that's not going to be enough here. Florida Mayhem, it's Awesome Guy who's alive on the point, will eventually get beaten up here by Hotpa. And there is still a presence here for Philly Fusion to contest. Awesome Guy trying to draw them back, but Sato and Carpe are here. He's going to get overwhelmed if he doesn't get support quick, and Zebasai is here to top him back up again.
Hoppa gets brought back into the mix as well. Florida is in desperation mode, so they pop Valkyrie to get in here. A blade is about to come online. Tvik needs to live through this and get it going.
Needs to find some angle to work with, but Sato's just not letting up. Tvik, he gets pocketed by Zebasai, only reason he survives. But in the meantime, we have kills coming through. Hoppa eventually gets the kill on Zebasai, and Tvik, he finally goes for the blade, only to get blown up by EQO. It's looking grim here for Florida Mayhem.
Sato's just been all over everybody who even gets near the points. That is Philadelphia Fusion winning Blizzard World rather easily. And I mean, something was brought up to me earlier. I believe it was Alberto brought it up to me. He's like, the communication from Philadelphia has to be easier now that you've got Sato in.
Yeah, it is coming together for Philly Fusion. They're looking so good right now. Florida Mayhem, they've got a little bit of a break here to ponder how they're going to go after him on map 2 to bring this series back.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Intel. Intel Core i7 powers the Overwatch League. T-Mobile, America's fastest network ever. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
great charge. Beauty in a nutshell right there, guys.
My name is Fraggy. I play for Philadelphia Fusion, and my role is main tank. To be an MVP in Overwatch League, you have to be a really good team player, first and foremost. Of course, you need really good individual skills, but I think the team play is the most important aspect. Especially as a Winston player, you need to think a lot about what you're doing yourself. Don't get into harm's way, play smart all the time. Of course, when time comes, you need to be in sync with your DPS, but you always need to be thinking about what you're doing yourself.
Hashtag just Fraggy things. Sneaks up behind you in the cafe, first shatters 3 or 4 people, gets the team fight win.
As a main tank, you kind of need to be the spirit of the team and like the core. So with the new team, I had to adjust a lot, and I think I'm getting better and better. And going forward, our team figured out a style that I'm more comfortable with, I think.
Fraggy's like, yeah, man, I'll handle that trap. Don't worry about it.
No problems at all for Fraggy and the Fusion.
So to be considered an MVP, I think you need to be a really important part in your team's success, be a really good individual player, and a really good teammate.
Making his way, he's going to try and get back in. There's a big, great shatter.
Oh, did he get behind us? That's our Fraggy.
Back, everybody. So you saw there Fraggy highlighted as one of the players. I mean, we have the best players in the world here at Overwatch League, and they're all in the running for this MVP award that will be given out at the end of the league. So I mean, the conversation goes on. Do we just look at hard stats? Do we look at impact, the intangibles? What is going to determine who gets that trophy at the end?
Yeah, and you kind of have that discussion even with this Philadelphia roster. The best player on the team is probably Carpe. Perhaps the most valuable player might even be EQO, just because of all the versatility that he brings. So there's that question is, do you consider it the best player? Do you consider it the most valuable player? Who would struggle the most? You know, what team would struggle the most if they lost a player? Then you've got, you know, guys like Jonak, who's probably both of those things.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I mean, and that's the great thing is that we'll get to see him later on today in terms of, like, yeah, here we go. You know, I mean, top 10 of the league. You got 2 of them from Philly Fusion who are up there with the final blows. It's just like bonkers to have that kind of number for Carpe because he just always plays for Philly. They didn't bench him until they're like, okay, these matches don't matter. You know what? We're going to give our star a rest here. That's how high value he is for Philly Fusion. They're like, you know what? You take that extra week off, get some pizza, kick back, watch a series, you know, just like regen because we need you that bad when it's time to perform.
Even at Shadowburn up there. So
yeah.
Shadowburn hasn't seen playtime for this. In Philadelphia, just got so many good players that it's very difficult for them to all find playtime. We saw Fraggy a little bit yesterday on Kings Row. I think people thought that this was going to be a meta that would favor him into Reinhardt. He's a great Reinhardt in the Swedish meatball composition, if you will, but that is the, you know, all the MVP candidates.
Yeah, Swedish meatballs. Good stuff. I mean, I've been eating them for 6 years, man. All right, so be sure to join in, right? Hashtag OWL MVP, and that's how you go ahead and vote for your MVP, most valuable player. I mean, for all the people who are going to spam Siegel, no. Just stop. All right, so we got a second map coming up here pretty soon, guys. It is going to be Horizon Lunar Colony now, and we're going to get to see if Philly Fusion are going to keep this up. What?
Well, he's got to take a shot at Brandon.
What? I need stuffing for a pillow. I'm just plucking, you know, one feather at a time. I'm just going to work it out, you know, and hey, there you go. That's how it's. I mean, dude, you know, if it's a popularity thing, then, you know, streamers are going to have an edge in that sort of thing, obviously.
That's true. That has happened before, especially World
we
Cup.
do not name.
Yes. You know, it's not like Flower just completely dominated everybody in the World Cup. But that is aside the point here. We are going to the Horizon Lunar Colony, and one thing we haven't seen on this map yet that I want to see is someone get knocked into space off the edge.
Yes.
No one can hear you scream in space, you know?
Yeah, no, dude.
It actually, it used to happen when people would try to get some staggers going, right? They would try to force the baby diva out there and then launch her up the air, because it takes forever to die, because there's zero gravity. So you launch her in the air, you stun her, you hook her back in. It's happened before. We've yet to see it. I got my wish last time we watched Philadelphia for EQO doing the trampoline Deadeye.
Yeah.
So maybe I will get my wish with Philadelphia on a stagger here. But offensively, They're going to run a Sombra into this mix. That's what EQO brings as far as his value is concerned. He can play absolutely everything. So a Sombra Tracer, which is good against this composition because they can both just go pressure the point. They can go do it together if they want. You see EQO is going to be pressuring the backline. They want to pull off some attention, and that's exactly what's happening.
Well, here comes the dive going in. Launching themselves in. Sadow's going to be there. Hoppa gets hacked and stunned immediately, so no mech for him. That's going to be a little bit awkward. But Manitin gets demeched as well, nearly as quickly. So the Diva's out of it, but hey, there's a great kill on Neptuno. That's not going to help things here for Philly Fusion, losing their main healer. But I mean, look at this. They've nearly got 2 ticks. Never mind, they got 2 ticks for free.
For absolute free. It's like an infomercial. Call now and get your second tick for free. And they're still going to go into this. So the main tank is up. They're looking for this pulse, but he sticks it.
Zebasai, if you go for the res, that is just not going to happen. Discord Orb as well. Zebasai hanging on by a thread right now. Carpe, eye on the prize, hunting him, and we'll find him in the end. Sado robs him of the joy, but hey, it's the result that matters. And Philadelphia Fusion take first point so quickly.
You could feel almost the frustration if you played Tracer. Carpe's just mashing Blink, waiting for it to come back online, and then he goes over there and he has to blink back again, but all for naught anyways. Philadelphia is able to roll in here, and now they're going to have an EMP up rather shortly. Based on how quick they took that, there's not going to be much on the side of Florida.
Well, I mean, look at this. Do we get another tick for free? Is this a 2-for-1 deal? I mean, it's definitely looking pretty good. EQO finds the hack again. That's going to be a couple of them. Awesome guy backing off, manages to make it out. Manitin gets demeched immediately, though. No safety for him.
Well, they get the 1 kill and also a tick again, and they're going to come in with the Transcendence. They have better ults right now. Here comes a Deadeye. They need a big one.
Only going to find Carpe. That's still 1 big kill. That's a lot of DPS that's going to be forced out here. And well, Philadelphia Fusion deciding enough is enough. They're going to back out. Yet again, they managed to pick up a tick, nearly 2 in 1 fight.
Well, Philadelphia threw everything they had at that one, though, so they get the 1 tick coming in. They're going to make some changes going into second point. Carpe will move over to the McCree, Equo to the Junkrat. Both tanks staying on the dive tanks. It's mostly what they play anyway, and they have ultimates ready to go.
Saya, he's already changed it up, though, predicting it. Widow going to slightly outweigh the McCree, unless he gets volleyed. That could have been spicy. He is getting covered. I mean, Manitin is always so aware of things as far as D-Matrix is concerned. He's always the Johnny on the spot to protect tires that are trying to go into the fray, or even just covering Saya player to make sure that he can take these aggressive peaks.
Well, this is why Philadelphia has to continue to run these dive tanks, because else who else is ever going to pressure Saya? You can't leave him alone. Your DPS are in no position to ever be able to do so. This Primal Rage gets popped early on, trying to go after Saya, but it can't find him.
He's 1 step ahead. You thought I was there? Nope, not happening. Neptuno gets the res off, only to get picked off by Saya player. This might prompt more changes coming out from Philly Fusion. I mean, Carpe's got Deadeye now online, but Saya player is just going to run game on these kids.
It's a good map for a defensive Widow. There's a couple really nice perches all the way back. You can hang out about 10 feet away from spawn and almost never get pressured down. It's just how do you ever deal with the Widow in the backlines without your own Widow? I mean, you can send your tanks in, but then are they going to have the damage that they need for the cover? So wouldn't be surprised if another couple pushes, Carpe switches. There's the switch right there. You have to do it.
I think that's why he just threw the Deadeye out. Push wasn't really happening. Whatever, get the Deadeye out, just die. Go for the change, and hell, I love it. Now we're going to have the Hanzo coming in here for EQO. All right, double sniper.
Tavik is going to switch as well. Tavik was on a Brigitte for a moment. He's going to go on to Tracer now. You know, I've been trying to practice
That name is such a meme now.
Oh, dude, it was like Brad Pitt in Inglourious Bastards last night.
You were actually watching the clip
I was.
too.
I was totally watching. I'm like, this is what I sound like right now. Brigitte.
That's fine. We'll just get you in a tux later and go to a show. Don't worry, Hex. Your masterpiece. It'll happen soon enough.
All right, just kind of a lull in the action right now. Both support ultimates up for Philadelphia. It's a question of how much they want to commit to this because they don't have really a whole lot else to use. Support ultimates on both sides, so this really could come down to efficiency and economy. A couple of trades, though, back and forth.
Flanking Widow, EQO seems like he zeroed in on that, figured it out. Carpe will get res back up again. Point blank, Saya player showing no fear, taking a page out of Carpe's book, who does play the close quarters. Widow, quick reactions, big target, Sado's dead. And Florida Mayhem right now are doing a great job of slowing things down for the Philly Fusion. Philly Fusion started this push with over 6.5 minutes in the bank, and now they've just passed 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's actually the other way around. Saya came in and started taking very aggressive Widow play. He might have been the first one to do it. The origin of the Saya surprise, of course. And then you see Pine just play in the... I mean this as a compliment. The dumbest possible positions as a Widow. Like,
Sure.
there's no way you should be there, and then, oh, you hit every shot. That's not fair.
That's not fair. You've broken the game, Pine. Come on, man. Serious. Give us a chance. You don't want Boombox to die, though, for this next push. He's got the trance. Zupe's got it online as well. Both of the Valks are around 30% here for the Mercies. So push starts going through. Sato taking the brunt of the damage. That's kind of his job, after all, as the main tank. EQO drops dangerously low, however. Probably a bit of a volley there coming in from Zupe. There you go. Saya player rewarded with one. Follows it up on a kill. And now he's looking to cut him off as they retreat. Sure enough, there it is. Boombox is dead. Neptuno is dead. Saya player, so good.
Like the desk mentioned it in the pregame, and I think everyone knows this about the Florida team, that if they're going to be going to victory, it's going to rely on Saya's very capable shoulders to bring them there.
And it's not really a surprise anymore, Hex.
No.
That's the thing.
No, it's not the Saya surprise any longer. Just again takes down Carpe. What is this nonsense? Saya, 15 eliminations, 13 final blows, only died once.
Yeah, right now he's doing excellent work.
Look at this.
You gotta give it to Zebo and Zupe, though.
No.
They've done a great job surviving as well.
Too. Look at this. You got the Brigitte shield right in front of Saya. So everyone, you know that he's your pocket. You know that he's the carry, and everyone's in on the action, and that's why.
He makes it look so easy. Unbelievable. Just not missing a single shot. All headshots. All headshots.
I'm going to take a note from Artosis' book right now. I got nerd chills right now.
Yeah,
this is crazy.
He is so stupidly good. No, why are you doing this, Saya? Why? Keep giving the headshots.
He's like, I've given you enough. I've given you guys enough.
I am a generous god. All right, Tvik doesn't have anybody to body block for anymore, but that's fine. Saya player is going to be on the soldier. Relentless damage. They have gone for the change here, Phil Fusion, going back to what the tried and true is as far as there is concerned. It is going to be the dive. Boombox floating his way past as Manitin will get covered here. Papa looking after his back line. Solid work there from the Diva.
Yeah, I think he went into it because he was sensing that EQO was going to switch on to Genji to try to mess with him at least a little bit to get in his face. And now, a Soldier 76 against Genji can be very good as long as you manage your cooldowns.
Yeah, exactly right. We will have the stick, no kill. Carpe will be able to get into this backline. 3 juicy targets for him, but with the biofield, the orbs, the mercy, you're not going to get any kills there, Carpe. You're going to have to back off and play with the rest of your team. Rally has been used as well here for the Florida Mayhem, boosting that HP pool. And while Carpe now finally might be able to make it happen.
They gotta try to get in here, but against Tactical Visor, even a Diva's not gonna survive along with that low HP. We'll clean up everything else. It looks like a very likely hold on last for the Florida Mayhem. EQO and Neptuno, the last remaining amongst them.
Yeah, Philly Fusion are gonna be hard pressed here, but EQO, nope, denied! Shield bash by Tvik. Saya player finds Carpe, and that's pretty much going to end it here. They're not going to be able to float their way in. Boombox torn apart. And round 1 complete with a single point picked up for Philly Fusion and 2 ticks on the second point.
Can you guess who our replay is going to be up?
I don't know. Surprise me, Hex. Surprise me.
I think we're going to take a look at Saya before he switches Soldier 76. Come on.
So you missed the shot there.
Ah, come on, get it together.
Yeah, serious. Sloppy. 2 shots missed. 2 shots missed. Saya player, I expected better of you.
Yeah, I was just leaning in to try to look at his critical accuracy and scoped in accuracy, then he switches Soldier 76. So maybe our favorite hero, Captain Planet, can come in, but that was just a ridiculous performance on the Widowmaker. I mean, we have so many good Widows in the league, and I'm so upset we didn't get to see Saya versus Pine.
Yeah. That would have been sick. You know, you get the Widow duels, and well, you know, Hex, if we got everything too quickly, you know, there wouldn't be anything to look forward to.
No,
so now we have a duel of legendary
that needs to be the show match, right? In the off season, we got to just get Widow duels. We got to do Chateau headshot only Widow duels.
See who comes out ahead. That would be brutal. But I mean, hey, you know, everybody's got to go up against their own inner demons. And Saya player, he will be the inner demon for all of the other snipers out there in the Overwatch League. Florida Mayhem, they will be swapping over to the offense side now. Philadelphia Fusion on the defense, and we have to see a Saya player going to be able to continue with this level. I mean, he is going to be starting off on Widow by the looks of things.
Only died once. It was so cool to see that tech, though, too, of the Brigitte shield in front of Saya as well. I mean, we saw that the other day from Houston as their hard carry Linkser got his shield in front of him. But now we get the stats back up. He did 10,000 damage per 10, 67% scoped accuracy, 30% critical hit accuracy. Every third shot to the dome.
He just has boombox. Nightmares. Nightmares. He's going to be waking up screaming, clutching his head, wondering.
He did 37% of his team's damage. I mean, like, they were on a carry mode for him, and they still probably will be. I don't see how you get him to switch off of this, but, you know, putting an Orisa shield in front of an opposing Widow might be the best way to persuade him to stop killing them all.
You gotta come up with something here. But right now, Florida Mayhem taking their time. Only just now going for a bit of the poke on the high ground, but they get rebuffed. Gonna have to back off and go for the reset. Saya player still hunting for an angle, but Philadelphia Fusion right now playing as a very tight group. It's only now that a presence gets established on the point here by Manitin, an awesome guy, that they're going to have to rotate off and start splitting up, and that might give some room here for Saya player to work with. But EQO has found Zebasai, so Florida Mayhem already losing their mercy. That's not really going to help things here.
That's a push-ending kind of kill right there. Both the tanks are still kind of messing around out here, but you don't want to feed any more ultimate charge than you have to in this situation. You know that you can't really push when you don't have a mercy and the other team does. So what's interesting is Tvik on the Hanzo. He was one of the original Hanzos ever in Overwatch. See what they can get done. It's partially to maybe crack the shields and just kind of cause even more chaos.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Already EQO showing the verticality for Junk. And well, yeah, I mean, Zebo, he's finally able to rejoin with the rest of his team. Now we have EQO with the tire, though, and close quarters on this point. If he gets just a little bit of room to work with here, this could be monstrous. The focus is great, though, from Manitin, and there's Carpe. Finally finding the headshot on Saya player. Saya player laid low. Zebasai soon to follow. Trick will find the kill on Carpe, finally ending that reign of terror, but might be a little bit too little too late here as Florida Mayhem continue to fight.
Yeah, Manitin gonna get back into his Mac. The Dragon also comes through as well, so they're super committed to this right now, trying to still stay in here. And EQO finds the combo over top, a nade and a mine, takes Tvik down. This one's a bloodbath.
Yet again, it's just never ending. I mean, with these big tanks as well, he's just pumping damage, and finally, they're able to kill this guy. 2 ticks and counting here for Florida Mayhem. Carpe finds the pick on Tvik. And well, Neptuno's still flying high right now, able to get the chain heals out, keep those big beefy tanks up, and it's looking like somehow, in the end, Philadelphia Fusion, they managed to hold.
I mean, it's a small thing, but Neptuno had to retreat to go heal Hatpa, and Sato saw it, the call's made, and he leaps out in a bad situation, goes back to those heals once they break sight lines, and both those tanks get entirely healed up. Their survivability of the Philadelphia tanks in the last couple maps has been rather impressive.
Yeah, they just don't die. They don't die. I mean, even now, Hatpa only 3 deaths. So, solid work there. As far as the kills are concerned, it is still Florida Mayhem very much in the lead. But for now, Philly Fusion, they're doing a good job of whittling down the time. A minute left on the clock here for Florida Mayhem to cap this point and continue the fight. Carpe with Infrasight online might help things out here, getting to see through walls. Yep, setting it up here. And well, Tvik gets spotted immediately. Is Tvik going to be able to win this fight? Carpe going to force him to translocate out. That's the big headshot you got to hit, Carpe. Now that means that perhaps there's some space here for Zebo and Zupe to work with. They're cut off from the rest of their team, but Zebasai makes it on. Still jumping in the middle of nowhere.
Both tanks are down for Florida. Both of them are knocked out of mech and then killed as well. Neptuno brings EQO back to life. Awesome guy gets resurrected, but Manitin will finally fall. This one is going back and forth yet again. It's bloodbath on the point, but with Zebo and Zupe fallen, Double Z's at a third one to go to sleep because this push is very likely a nightmare.
Just not able to make it happen on the offense right now, Florida. 8 seconds and counting to Vic, trying to keep the fight rolling here on the point in the back line. He's going to be here in position perhaps to contest. Never mind. Sent back to spawn. Manitin now going to be the focus of attention, and with that Discord orb, he gets melted immediately. Awesome guy follows suit, and this is going to be Philadelphia Fusion holding in the end. Overtime Wick is burning down. They're trying to get back in here to tap it, but it's not going to be quick enough. Florida Mayhem unable to pick up a point and unable to pick up the map. It will be Philadelphia Fusion extending their lead to 2-0.
They were attempting to do kind of the meta hold up top with an Orisa shield, and when that fell apart, the tanks went back to the players at their best on it, and they just kind of bowled right in. 2-0 lead going into the half for the Philadelphia Fusion. We'll see if Florida Mayhem can find something to pull it all the way back.
You've watched the matches, analyzed the hype, and now you help decide the first ever Overwatch League MVP. Cast your vote now for League MVP on Twitter with hashtag OWOMVP and your player's battle tag.
The Florida Mayhem has no answers for the Fusion's defense so far after full holds in our first two maps. We have a 2-0 lead in favor of Philadelphia. Welcome back to Blizzard Arena, ladies and gentlemen. It's Pucky here at the desk. How's everybody doing? A pretty good start to our Saturday. Some awesome sniping going down, and a little bit later, we've got a big anniversary announcement, but coming up right now, we got to break down the game. So let's get into the action here, starting with our first map, fellas. We were expecting Saya player. We knew he was coming in, going up against Carpe. What did we see from our two Widows?
Well, unfortunately, the maps didn't start out with the Widowmakers. It was all about Dive from the Philadelphia Fusion. It's really interesting to see because normally when we thought of this new patch, we thought Dive is dead. Brigitte is going to destroy everybody. Not the case. Not the case at all. Philadelphia was able to play around it and do very well, which is a promising change for this new meta and very promising for Philadelphia because this was their best strategy. Dive.
Yeah, they get to play a range of things, and I think the Florida Mayhem actually played it as best as they could on the defense. They swapped Fig over to the Brigitte, which did stop Philadelphia Fusion for a long, long time in this point C area, and they weren't able to complete the map. But then when it comes down to the offense, Florida Mayhem have just looked atrocious, honestly. Like, they have been full held on both maps so far because they haven't been able to kind of sync together a single good push.
They're being so greedy in their attacks. They get a couple of picks, but instead of going for the slow approach, they try to just go right on through, and Philadelphia punishes. But Philadelphia on this map was very exciting for me because you bring out the Sombra. It's a strategy that we had seen before, and you know it works in Horizon, but the star of this map was the defense of the Florida Mayhem. We finally got to see Saya Player. Oh my god, what a treat.
He was absolutely unreal. Normally you think of Carpe hitting those kind of things.
Carpe had to bow to him.
Yeah, he really did. Saya Player, I think, is the best Widowmaker in the league. I mean,
yeah.
he didn't play against Pine, right, yesterday. I think he was a bit scared, perhaps, or he got benched, you know, to save his reputation. But Saya Player, if he went up against Pine, who do you think would win?
I actually think Saya Player would come out on top, but obviously New York still wins because the development of the double sniper makes it so hard to be a Widowmaker right now. You're playing Widowmaker, and then you have to deal with Libero's Hanzo. We knew that Philadelphia is running the same thing. I think Saya Player is still good enough to deal with both, just not the whole team.
I don't know. Saya Player didn't play against Pine, so I think Pine wears the crown right now. But here's the contender for that top spot. Let's take a look back. Saya Player with the 4K, hitting so many headshots throughout this game, just constantly taking out the supports.
And the crazy thing is, you see him do this, right? And you wonder, how? How does somebody get this good? And the answer, we've heard it a million times, it's hard work. This man's work ethic is unrivaled. In his eyes, if he does not hit a headshot, it is a failure, and he practices to hit that every single time. He's so meticulous. It's kind of like the way you practice music. If you mess up a note, you go back to the start and you do it again. This is the attitude this guy has. If you're all about try-harding, Saya Player is your favorite player.
If I get one pick out of every 10 shots this Widow, I'm a pretty happy man. Saya Player frustrated with every missed shot. His stats support the efforts he's put in. Look at the critical accuracy, over 20%, already 20 eliminations to his name with 17 of those final
Just
blows.
to offer some context on that, when you see on the fourth category critical hit accuracy of 22%, those are your obvious headshots. The league average is 14%, which means he's 8%. That's about a third better headshots than any other Widow. That's crazy.
Josh, let's talk a little bit about the issues that we've seen from Florida so far on their attacks, because we got 2 more games coming up. The next one's going to be Control, but then they're going to have to attack for a Game 4 on Dorado. So what does Florida need to fix if they're going to start taking maps off of Philly?
I think they don't look very coordinated at the moment when they're on their offense. I think it's obvious that their coaching staff has done a good job with their defensive structure. They look good. They know how to rotate around maps. They can hold teams back. But when it comes to the offense, they're not synced up properly on these dives, and they're getting too little value out of denying resurrects and stuff. There were a few times where they're able to go in, they kill EQO, but then the res just comes in, and all your hard work's for nothing. You've lost Manitin, or he's been demeched or something. You can't get back into it. So Florida need to be more coordinated.
Crumbs, in the second half, we're going to see more from the Philadelphia Fusion. What do you want to see as an analyst?
I want to see the flexibility that the players that aren't flexible have to display, specifically Carpe. The man brought out May last time, and if he wants to become the best DPS in his team, he's going to have to be a lot more flexible, because EQO is just running the show right now, busting out the Sombra, the Junkrat, the Widowmaker sometimes. So I think that Carpe's flexibility is what I want to see.
Looking forward to seeing what they will be doing in the second half. That's going to do it for our halftime coverage, but we've been teasing it all day long, and it's time for our first big announcement of the day. Are you guys ready? Make some noise, because it's coming right now as we send it down to Malik on the floor.
Thank you very much, Puckett. We've got Aaron Keller from the Overwatch team here. Everybody give him a warm welcome, please. Please. Thank you very much. Now, he is here to show us some new content from Overwatch Anniversary. Aaron, what do you have for us today?
Hi, Overwatch League. Now, as some of you may have already seen, we have a new deathmatch map in Overwatch Anniversary called Petra. Petra takes place in the remains of an ancient city carved out of solid stone in the Middle East. Now, the gameplay video we're about to show you contains some of our favorite locations in the map. Check it out.
Wow, everybody give it up for that. That was awesome, yo. Such a pretty map. It looks like there's a good mix of close range and long range combat. And was that destructible floors that I just saw?
They were destructible floors, and there's a mega health pack right in the middle of them. We always try to add some interesting new elements to our maps, and I think the destructible floors in Petra are going to be really fun.
Awesome. Now, when can we get our hands on Petra?
Petra is available in Overwatch Anniversary on May 22nd.
Sick, sick. So really soon. Now, is there any more Overwatch Anniversary content that you have to show us?
There is a ton of fun stuff in Overwatch Anniversary. The dances are coming back. We have new dances. There's 8 new legendary skins in Overwatch Anniversary. You will be able to earn all of the past seasonal items, as well as play almost all of the old brawls in the arcade. We're also launching the Legendary Edition of the game on May 22nd, and we're running a free weekend on May 25th. We are super excited.
All right. I'm ready for some Lucio Ball personally. Can't wait for that. Well, Aaron, thank you so much. And guys, we have more content to show you, so make sure you stick around for the second half of the next game because we're going to be revealing some more Overwatch Anniversary goodness. And on that note, let's get right back into the matches and send things on over to the desk.
Oh, the matches can wait, Malik. We got to talk about Petra right here. A new free-for-all map. I know we got somebody here on the desk very excited about that. Crumbs, you can't go yet about your Doomfist sideshow. Initial reaction to the new map.
It looks cool. It comes out on Tuesday, right? That's a little too late for Florida Mayhem to sharpen up their skills. So, unfortunately for them, but it'll be cool for everybody
Saying
else.
it looks cool is an understatement. This map is based off of a real location in real life. I'm pretty sure this is in the Middle East or in Eurasia somewhere, and I can't wait to play Doomfist and just destroy monuments, vandalism in the historical sense.
Don't do that, kid.
All right, guys, before we leave you here at halftime, we do want to send a public service announcement. Do not play Torb if you're in a free-for-all. That's going to do it for us. When we come back, though, we got 2 more games to go as Philadelphia looks to lock it up against the Florida Mayhem. We'll see you in a minute.
If you're in the Los Angeles area, come experience Overwatch League live at Blizzard Arena. For tickets, check out access.com.
right, welcome back from the break, everybody. Philadelphia Fusion in the lead right now over the Florida Mayhem, 2-0. It's looking pretty one-sided so far, apart from the obvious flashes of brilliance from Saya player. Yeah. The rest of Florida still figuring out how to follow suit.
Yeah, I mean, there's some cliches I'll throw out. It takes a village to raise a child. No man is an island. It takes a team to win a map, apparently, because Saya could not carry any harder in that game. I don't know what more you want out of your Widow player, but if you can't coordinate a dive, you're not going to win on offense.
No, it's definitely tough. Snipers around the world, they know how he feels right now. I should probably call Kenny S real quick. Kenny, tell me, Titan, how did you do it? Just get some support, because right now, I mean, he's sniping his brains out. Well, I mean, he's at least sniping their other team's brains out, and yet he is still not able to actually come up with the W right now. And they're going into Oasis next, which is, as you were telling me right now, not exactly a favored map.
No, it's just not a good map for Florida. Perhaps they can maybe win if we go to University, or rather, yeah, University might be a decent map for them. But again, now Saya, it's not also like that great of a Widow map. It's mostly been Pharahs that we've seen all across of Oasis, so maybe Saya will play a McCree, which we've seen a little bit often, but right now, look, Florida just has to find some sort of answer. And at a certain point, if you're Saya, you're almost just kind of beaten down. Like, what more? What more? How much more pink mist must I put on the moon?
Exactly, because those are his kills. They're his kills, Hex. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one for Saya. Right now on the other side of things for Philly, it's Carpe, it's EQO, both of them right now just doing work. And well, I mean, the rest of the team as well. It's so tough to find a weakness in Philadelphia Fusion right now, because both of the tanks are on the same wavelength. They just refuse to die while killing everything. And you got two of the best supports, Neptuno. I mean, he is the hero Mercy.
Well, let's see what Sato and Hakba have on heroes that would traditionally be played by their other counterparts here. It's usually a fraggy map coming in, but I think they just want to see how Sato's Reinhardt holds up. We've seen his Winston be very, very good. An awesome guy as well on the other side of things. This is so Reinhardt-centric, these opening fights. Hakba already at 90% energy.
Yeah, he's just farming right now. Forced to use a bubble there to just stay alive. That's not exactly how he wants it to play out. Manitin was just barely surviving earlier. Nice knockback, not quite gonna get him into the hole though, so that's unfortunate. That would have been a great opening. Still, Carpe finds the kill on Tavik to kick things off here for Philadelphia Fusion. And while Saya player also gonna get overwhelmed by Hotba, who's working on these flanks. When you've got 90 energy, Azara, you're melting everything in front of you.
It's like MS Paint, and you just pick the eraser tool, just swipe it across people, and they're gone, out of it completely. And I really like that Hotba just chose to 1v1 Sai over there. Like, you're totally fine as Azari just walking towards a McCree, be like, yeah, flashback. I don't even care if you flashback. It does not matter. Get the shield up, and that's a completely dominated fight from Philadelphia Fusion. And off the back of that, they will have a Shatter, flank Shatter behind!
Oh, beautiful. Sets it up with the Deadeye as well. Carpe just making positive sure that everybody's gonna die on Florida Mayhem right now. Beautiful trap. That was sick from Sato.
That's a beautiful Shatter, and they just had no idea it was coming. And I really agree with using the Deadeye there anyway. It charges decent when you have Carpe's kind of aim, so just make sure that you clean up. Also, just style points.
Maximum value. Style points. Maximum value. No shield to hide behind.
We'll see where Hotba goes here. You would like to get the Mercy in this, ideally. You always want the Mercy in the grab. You might go for one of the corners. It's just, nope, just right over top. Deleted. Bye-bye.
What teamwork coming out from Philadelphia Fusion right now. They can do no wrong. Everything is working out. I mean, they're winning these duels 65% and counting, and it's Neptuno, of course, the Battle Mercy.
No, because it's important to get the team kill. Again, style points. You want to get that horn going. I will go chase down Zebo, and, perhaps they didn't need the Valkyrie for the other side. Zebo used his Valkyrie as well. Florida needs one fight. Can Manitin get to his grab as well? Because they have combos they can use.
He's going to be having the Deadeye. Oh, Supe! Supe so low! Somehow Carpe doesn't die. Neptuno, again, just doing everything to keep his teammates alive. Carpe, man, right now with him pocketing him, this is going to be brutal because he's about to get Deadeye. He could be looking for that flank again. Working his way into the back line. Awesome guy, crouching, worried. Saya player going to get deleted by EQO, and there it is! The flank from Carpe, the triple Deadeye kill. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. Philadelphia Fusion.
It quite literally doesn't get any cleaner than that. 25 kills to 0. 2-sagged, squadouche, nothing.
Brutal. Just brutal. Perfect coordination. Even Carpe's smiling. Look at that, Hex. Even Carpe's giggling. That's when you know things are going well. I mean, well, yes, couldn't go any better. Let's see now. I mean,
It literally couldn't.
Florida, you got to figure something out here going into the next point. This is going to be more Farah territory, could also be more McCree territory. So Carpe right now looking like he's on the Widow to start. Could be fun to see him go to work. Saya player, of course, always a joy to watch. But Saya right now, man, I mean, many deaths, no kills, not very common.
Yeah, a little bit different compositions. I mean, honestly, from Florida, this would you'd be expecting Fraggy, maybe even Zappis, the missing Zappis, to come in and play this Zarya, but they're going to stick with their same roster, hopefully get something better going. You also don't want to bring them into this matchup and just ruin their confidence right away.
Oh, there we go. That's beautiful. Oh, no, it's Vic. It's Vic. Just Carpe things, you know, killing everybody, no problem. Let me go ahead and just win this fight single-handedly real quick.
Hey, let's start small. Let's get a kill. A single kill from Florida. I know I sound harsh, but this, I've never seen this kind of dominance on control.
Bonjour.
Yeah, Carpe finds the headshot on Saya. So we're at 28 kills to 0 and counting. Philadelphia Fusion. I mean, Carpe's feeling it right now so good that he's just going to go ahead for the bold grapple hooks right over.
Well, I mean,
sure.
Saya's going to switch over to the Widow as well, so perhaps one or two kills could come in off of that. Carpe just waiting on the corners.
Let's see. I mean, if anybody's going to find the first blood here for Florida Mayhem, it's got to be Saya. And never mind. I mean, he'll get rezzed up, so the fight continues.
Yeah. Rezzed up, another chance to add a kill to their total for Philadelphia. Carpe takes down Tavik. They're trying to rotate into this corner. It's very difficult to do so. D-Mech doesn't count.
Yeah, D-Mech doesn't count. Just make sure. D-Mech doesn't count. You need to get the kill on the baby D.Va now. But man, I mean, not quite going to find it. Hoppa is going to be able to get the new mech, and they find Saya player again. It's Hotba to get the kill this time. Carpe finds Zepasai. This is definitely, no, come on. You got to find a kill. Sure, you can get 2-0'd, but you're not going to get 2-0'd and then not find a single kill in the control map, Florida.
It's absolute dominance. There's no other way to describe it. Already at 65%, we're nearing that one fight away kind of moment. Both of the supports for Florida about to have their ultimates online. Same can be said for the Philadelphia Fusion. As we take a look at the Carpe show still.
It's 33-0 right now. Oh, that was a beautiful one. All right, 33-0. Let's see. Next fight, getting into it. EQO just chucking in the rockets. He's going to have Barrage.
Yeah. He might be the first one to die here because Barrage, a difficult one to live through without a Zarya or an F.
Oh! That was so good! All right.
Valkyrie popped. Sebo. Neptuno answers in kind.
All right, there's the spot. All right, finally, Carpe feeling the heat. EQO from on high. He's in perfect position right now for the barrage if he wants it. Hoppa finds Awesome Guy as well. We're going to get the trance thrown in here by Zupe. Awesome Guy brought back to life. 35-0. And we're into overtime. Is this going to be it? The barrage. EQO survives. 39 HP. Gets the pack. Come on. No. 99% overtime is going, and it is 39-0 right now. Manitin, come on, be the hero that your team needs. Tavik is still here. Could go for a pulse stick. Had to recall, and that's going to be it. 40-0. Perfect map. Perfect performance to end the series from Philadelphia Fusion. Unbelievable.
You know me, outside of the game, this is difficult for me. I'm speechless.
That's unreal. Well, Philly, that's how you win in style. 3-0 over the Florida Mayhem. They win the series, and we go into a fourth map where the beating will continue.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's fastest network ever. Omened by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. And by Intel. Intel Core i7 powers the Overwatch League.
The damage available. And Boyer has so much ability to be able to just get away from players like Linkser on the Tracer. Now getting very close, building up the ult, and there it is. Oh, okay, the coalescence coming out here. Jaehong's just giving the Houston Outlaws a good hosing down. Oh, they're clean indeed. But that push from Soul was nothing but dirty.
anticipation has been building, and it is finally time.
I'm not going to miss these games. They're incredible.
This is hype. This is what we've been waiting for. All going to come down to this. All the marbles on the line here. They are the best team we have in Overwatch League.
This is going to be so fun to watch.
What's up, everyone? This is Zoe. Mayhem is down 3 maps, so a rough start for them. And at the end of halftime, I actually talked to their coaching staff about the one player who so far really impressed on their team today, and that's Saya player. He has been popping off, and oddly enough, we didn't really see him earlier this week when they played against NYXL. So when I talked to their coach about that, he said they actually learned a lot from the game they played against New York, saying that New York seemed to really have a lot of Widow-heavy comps, and they felt inspired. They felt like, hey, we have Saya player who is an insane Widowmaker himself, so we can do that too. And that's what they were trying here on stage, and honestly had a lot of great moments. The only reason why they didn't really manage to win those fights, according to their team, is that they weren't able to sync their ults up perfectly and just couldn't really close out fights. You guys think they can get it done on map number 4? Well, we're gonna find out in just a second. Samuel Hex, take it away.
Thank you, Zoe. Perfect. I mean, that is really going to be highlighting it. It's like we have a star player. Maybe we should play around him. Good. That's the start. That's a good place to start. Now, you know, can they build on that in the 4th map of the series?
I don't know.
Let's all forget Oasis. Just
the flawless victory that Philadelphia pulled off.
If you're a Philly fan, you're definitely going to want to remember that one.
Yeah,
Florida, definitely.
If you're Philadelphia, you're already looking at the VOD again.
I mean, 40-0. 40-0. It's a round number 2, and it's perfect. I mean, we even had a baby diva kill in there. You're thinking you're going to kill the baby diva.
Well, lucky for Manatee, he gets to leave. Logix has to come in for Florida right now. So this could be an interesting thing about, well, like the composition they want to run, if they want to go triple tank heavy, because Tavik would actually move over to the Zarya. Maybe Logix will play that Zarya. So they could run a lot of different things with Manatee out as we go to Dorado. Very likely because it's not the greatest area for divas nowadays, especially on first point. Second point, you can run a diva to get to the high ground. We're still seeing Dorado kind of develop in this strange way with the new meta, because we look at Dorado and we're like, Brigitte can't be run on second, and then Dallas runs her on second, and it works out decently. So we're still trying to figure out how it's all going to play out. A lot of double sniper openings for offenses here, and you definitely see some Widows on first. So it's always been a great map, in my opinion, because all the points feel very different.
This is where, it allows you to see the depth of a roster, which heroes they can play. And also, I mean, I'm just a fan of maps that are play like this, where you do get a whole variety of heroes that actually get shown. There are a whole bunch of different ways to play it. You can play to your team's strengths, or just try and beat up on your opponents, like Fusion are doing to Florida right now. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to approach it.
It's always been one of my favorite maps, along with Hollywood as well, because they're similar in that style. They show the depth of the meta, and right now, week 1 meta is the best meta, because everyone's still trying to figure things out. You see a lot of different stuff, and it's been super fun so far. No surprise from Philadelphia. For most of the day, they've been favoring this double sniper composition. This has been very popular on this map. Of course, Sato and Hapa are going to play the double tanks there as well. Defensively, it is going to be Logix actually onto the Zarya, and Tavik will play Junkrat.
Or maybe Logix, you know, figuring out. We've seen this from other players, right? When the sub game kind of comes into it, for them to stay relevant, they need to try to change up their pool, and so maybe Logic's going to become one of those specialists.
Well, Tracer's switching over to Zarya is not the biggest mechanical switch in the world. It would seem like it because they play clunky, but just as far as aim goes, there's 2 types of that kind of aim. There's flick aim and there's tracking. Tracer more of a tracker. You think of players like Sinatra who have a great Zarya as well, that Tracer's aim mechanic will switch over to a kind of a Zarya. It translates decently well.
Yeah, exactly right, the tracking aim. So let's say Logix right now working on getting that energy going, flowing, as Florida Mayhem have managed to push, or at least push Philadelphia Fusion at the arch, not letting them really make much more progress past that point, as EQO is on a bit of a mission in the back line right now, as well as Carpe.
Philadelphia just went straight to dive after the double sniper opening, and then they transitioned their tanks over to it. Sato had an amazing Dorado for this team, I think 2 days ago. And so Saya knows there's a Genji about.
Yeah, that's a tough one. As a sniper, you need to trust your angle. And there you go. Rewarded. Finds the headshot in the end. Neptuno's got the wings out right now. Body shot, not quite going to guarantee the kill, but awesome guy's going to find Sato, and that's going to slow things down here for Philly Fusion. Neptuno, the battle mercy, continues to impress. Even getting the res off on Sato. Philadelphia Fusion, they can turn this around. Neptuno and their main tank alive. Boombox gets run over by Zupe.
Awesome guys, so low right now. Can they finish this kill? They do jump in on it. They are going to able to take down Awesome Guy. I mean, this might end up still being a hold as far as the tire coming out right now. They're still getting good progress on the card. Sato almost gets it in all by himself. Gotta be careful with Neptuno. He takes down Saya again.
Unbelievable, Neptuno. And then we have a baby diva killing a tire as well. They're pulling out all the stops right now, Hex.
Yeah, they can do no wrong. I mean, you saw that very first kill onto him. Never mind, a grab is coming in. They're gonna transcend into it.
Oh, they're denying the res as well. Tvik, is he going to be able to get brought back? I don't think so. Zebasai would have to get there right now. And it's not going to happen because the self-destruct catches him in midair. Awesome Guy and Zebasai dead here for Florida Mayhem. Logic's beheaded by EQO. And Philadelphia Fusion, they will pick up the first point. 3 minutes 45 in the bank for them.
I always love looking at Neptuno's stats, like limbs and kills. And this is so sneaky. This is the first one where he ducks out of vision early on. Actually, it might be the second one based on the second one, yeah. The first one, he took that body shot, remember? And then you saw it from Saya player's point of view. He's like, all right, he's done with it. And then up and over, Neptuno 2 kills onto Saya player. He's winning that duel right now.
I love it. He's winning the duel right now. Yeah, Saya getting put on notice a little bit. Wait, I thought I was fighting Carpe. Carpe's on the Tracer right now, lurking on the flanks. And while they are continuing to make quite a bit of progress here with this payload, Awesome Guy finally going to go ahead and take a bit of a fight here, trying to contest. There's Carpe looking for the one clip, doesn't quite find it. So close.
Yeah, the triple blink over there, reminiscent of playing this map into free-for-all. Still getting some good push on the ground, and they're going to pop the wings out. Neptuno's in, EQO's in as well.
Oh, there it is! He's hunting, he's not quite gonna get it! Saya player laid low by EQO, but so many kills rolling in for Philadelphia Fusion. In the meantime, Zebasai, again, Neptuno! Neptuno, 3 final blows now.
It's like the final blows into the resurrection. He's rubbing it in. We talk about bloodthirsty supports, and we generally talk about, hey, it's Zenyatta, and look at all this damage that these other guys can do. You don't think of Mercy, but, you know, the old meme was, that pistol does a surprising amount of damage, and Neptuno's showing it off right now.
I love it. Bit of the battle. And finally, they're going to get the flank ended there from Carpe. Lose EQO as well. Philadelphia Fusion going to have to back off here, reset. Looking for the staggers, Florida. I like it. Got to get that aggression in there.
Yeah, that one's actually over. They get 3 kills, and they will save the second point here. Sato and Boombox and Hapa actually nearing their ultimates for the Philadelphia offense. Defensively, the double Z's of the Florida supports about to get there as well.
Exactly, so we should have a fairly even fight going into this, although Neptuno, yeah, lagging a little bit behind, but we have Sato, we've got Boombox. Let's see, what are they going to come up with here? Philly Fusion still looking on the angles. Carpe definitely doesn't want to be running into Tvik, but he's getting blocked right now by Logix, who's doing a good job on the Tracer, keeping him honest. So need to find that angle. Awesome Guy getting pinned into the corner, trying to back up. There's no way out. And he has to go for the Primal.
Had to pop Primal there. They took an interesting angle, and I don't think he was expecting the Tracer to be on the ground. Carpe very, very low. Gets healed up at the last second.
Sick support there from Neptuno and Boombox. Both Logix going to force the trance out here from Boombox, and so Boombox is going to be Zoom Yadas on both sides. Zebasai flying high right now with the wings. Neptuno not too far off of the Valk as well, though, and we lose Zupe in the mix. Carpe right now finally will get caught by Tvik, who uses the rally, giving that bonus armor over to his teammates, but not all of them, and it's not going to be enough for Zebasai, who gets picked by Boombox, who's just casually picking up 2 kills himself.
It's now exactly when you want to use the rally. It is kind of an out-of-combat mechanic. Using rally in combat, it does give you speed and gives you armor, but that armor comes up over time and then it doesn't dissipate, which is why you see so many teams use it outside of combat. Saya's gonna desperately try to pull this one back for his team. He has a chance to do it, actually.
Attack visor, you know, always something to work with.
Self-destruct came through. It's not going to be enough. You hear the music, means about 20 seconds remain on this push. Neptuno has Valkyrie. That is about it. Carpe could hit a pulse bomb. EQO has actually gone over to the Widow, trying to pressure maybe Saya, who's been left to his own devices on the Soldier 76.
Let's see. I mean, that could be the punish. EQO right now, he was getting pressured a little bit by Awesome Guy. Awesome Guy gonna have to get back into this fight. Zabasai getting picked by Carpe is huge, but Zupe finds Sato losing the main tank here. Could turn it around. It's just trading kills back and forth. Tvik unkillable with that self-healing. Eventually will get body shot there by EQO, but takes Carpe with him.
Does. There is still both supports alive for Philadelphia. Like, as long as they can stay on the cart, Sato gets pretty low here, but just Sabo now back on the cart. They push him out, and he gets his wings clipped on the way out. Zupe will follow in suit and head back to spawn with the rest of his team.
Minute and a half here gets added. So for EQO now, let's see. Just taking a little bit of a peek. Can't let Florida make too much progress right at the beginning here.
Yeah, a Neptuno update, 5 limbs, 3 final blows.
706 damage dealt. That's a Mercy who's doing work.
It's a solid 4% of his team's damage.
Hey, every little bit. I mean, you know, he 4% of the damage, 3 kills. You know, you'll take the kills. That's good stuff. Logix and Zupe, though, they're waking up. 2 kills. They're trading on their counterparts.
But I mean, just look at ult earned from that, though. Neptuno gets his ult every 1 minute and 18 seconds. Zebosai, 2 minutes, 26 seconds.
Yeah.
That's a 2-for-1 Valkyrie advantage.
Yeah, he's on point. Ah, there's the rally, this time from Tvik, and this time everybody is there to take advantage of the armor. So EQO hunting for the headshots continuously right now. Philadelphia Fusion with both support ults online. They could be set up here for a push. Logic's trying to do something there on the flank. But they need to get onto the payload, start having a bit of a presence. Sato getting split off from his healers. Saya player's going to take advantage of that. Neptuno will get the res off, though. And the fight will continue as Boombox decides to commit the trance into this fight. Zupe, he staggered his trance just long enough to give his team the advantage. Awesome Guy going to be able to draw back into the healing light. Staying alive in this, and it is a long, drawn-out battle until AQO decides it's time to end it. Logix will fall, and this might be the opportunity here for Philadelphia Fusion to get some serious work done.
Saya player getting pressured all the way out, still on that Soldier 76, which has generally been his response to a Genji, but there's no Genji on the field for this team. They continue to push. We're in overtime now, must stay on the cart. Hatba has a self-destruct too. Both DPS nearing their way as well.
Well, let's go. It's going to be the fight. Tvik leading the charge along with Awesome Guy, who gets overwhelmed immediately. Must have been a big shot coming through there from the Philly Fusion side of things as they are getting all of the kills. Florida at the end will be incapable of halting the payload. 3 points picked up for Philadelphia Fusion on map 4 of this series.
So this one, you know, kind of
that's a perfect soundbite there for Florida Mayhem right now. Just a sad trumpet in the night, in the distance.
Wait, what was that? no, keep going. Keep going.
Florida, the pain. They were all alive, Hex, at the end. Just weren't able to get it going.
Yeah, I mean, they got rocked in, and then you see the glory self-destruct put on the nose of the cart. Just kind of using all ults. Not the scoreline you want to see if you're Florida Mayhem. A bunch of zeros, and you got to start small here. You got to win a fight, maybe take a point, get your morale back up. Philadelphia looking for the complete shutout, which I think would be a first. I think we've seen a couple firsts already in this matchup, and Florida has shown signs of life against other teams as well. I mean, they took New York XL to a draw on Hanamura, which was impressive. They've taken maps off some of the top teams in the world, and I can't tell if it's Florida being good, rather Philadelphia being good, Florida being bad, or if it's probably, you know, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
So it's a mix. I think it's also just Philly not really underestimating, right? You're like, right, Florida, this is how it's going to be. We're not going to take it easy on you. We've got our heads screwed on tight because stage playoffs are on the line as well as season playoffs here. So Philly, you can't underestimate anybody anymore. You just have to get in and get the work done.
Philadelphia's had their eyes on the prize, and that's their season goal, right? That's why they give Carpe a couple days off. He played every single game for them up to the last week of stage 3. And they gave him a couple days off because they're like, we're going to play him every game all the way through the end. So you got to rest your horses.
Especially when, well, this is a thoroughbred we're talking about. All right, Philly Fusion now on the defense, and let's see, will they get the hard lockout here on the Florida Mayhem? Florida Mayhem, well, already Tvik, bullet to the face there from Carpe, a strong start. Zebasai will be able to get the res off, so the push will continue here for Florida Mayhem. Question of whether they're going to be allowed to make progress past the arch.
This is their first point hold. This is what Philadelphia does on this map on first point. If they go to second point, you'll probably see a switch into the dive tanks. Get the halts, there's the kill. Follow up onto Tvik.
That halt, that's the halt combo, it's brutal. You get the body shot. Well, there we go. Saya player finds EQO, who's getting a bit greedy.
They're going to res him up, though. They move Brigitte over there. Neptuno's where he needs to be. We'll bring EQO back into this. And this is where you can't lose your Junkrat and then expect to hold the archway. This is where he's so effective. Hopefully, Logix can take advantage of having a Junkrat on the other side, get a lot of energy, and start really ghostbustering down his enemies.
Oh, EQO is, man, he's going to get that high ground right now. Could sandwich, although it looks like Florida Mayhem wants to deny him that, at least for now. EQO getting a body shot. He is going to get topped up here by Neptuno. Carpe right now trying to change up his angle. He knows that Saya player's out there right now. He needs to be careful about that.
EQO on the aggro. He's got both snipers in his sights. He already took down Tvik. Tries to pressure down, but some nice follow-up from Zube. They're just going to bring EQO right back to life.
Again, the res just happens right in their faces. Neptuno so bold.
It's ridiculous. Neptuno has 5 kills. We're 5 limbs, 3 final blows. We talked about that. 6 reses, and most impressively, 0 deaths.
Yeah, 0 deaths. Man, just he gets in, he gets out, he gets his work done. And he is going to ruin your hopes and dreams. This Boombox and EQO will find the kills. Logix, all that energy farmed up, gone. Now he's going to have to start again at 0. Saya player feeling the heat. A Saya player winning the duel, only to get traded out by Carpe.
I don't know if there's a res available. Yep, there is. Here comes Abba back to life. 7 resurrections now for Neptuno. I think it's just, you watch them play, it's so impactful on Mercy. He plays such his own style. He's not like leading the league in healing output. We're going to see some of those Mercies in the New York versus London game, but his playstyle is super enjoyable.
No, Tvik right now is the man on the flank. High ground like that, Sonic Arrow's out. He's going to be able to see him coming, but hey, that's not going to stop Carpe from going out to hunt for the kill. Carpe will remove Tvik, but not before Logix finds 2 kills. High value as well. The tire there to remove Zupe. Well, Sebasai rather, and Neptuno gone from Awesome Guy. So the chance here, Florida Mayhem could pick up a point and finally break this clean sweep for Philadelphia Fusion, deny them the perfect series. Contested at a meter left, but Hotplay, he's hanging in there. He's got the help of Boombox as well. Carpe dead. Neptuno flying in on the wings. Could try go for the bold res, because Sato's gonna set it up with the supercharger, so the damage is gonna get cranked out. That's all Neptuno's asking for. Give him the chance to go full battle Mercy, doing 50% more damage. Hell yeah.
Neptuno somehow is still alive at 3 HP. He will stay. Well, no, he did die actually once during this. So Florida Mayhem puts a 1 on the board finally as they take first point Dorado. It wasn't easy sledding for them. They still have 3 minutes to go before they push second point if this heart finally goes.
Tough, man. Philly, yeah, I mean, okay, Philly, they can take something away. They got the 3-0 win, basically. Yeah. They've got, they had the clean sweep on Oasis. They could have had the perfect series. You know, Florida Mayhem, not giving up.
But for Philadelphia, with playoff hopes, they're not taking maps off here. They need every map. Map differential is going to be important at some point in the end. Carpe takes down Logix early to start this fight. And this is a pretty aggressive forward hold here. And yeah, this is the composition that they switch to on second. Their tanks go from Orisa and Brigitte to dive tanks.
They get onto that high ground presence. I mean, this is exactly where EQO wants to be. Just nades, 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 maybe a mine, more nades, all from the high ground. Just happy as could be. Carpe right now on the flank. We will have the tire getting thrown in here. EQO, yes, finds value. Of course he does. Sebasai blown to bits, and that sets it up. The backline are dead now for Florida Mayhem, and they are stuck at this choke point.
Sebasai and Zube both out of the fights. They will have the giant ultimates of Earthshatter and Graviton incoming here. But look at this super aggressive hold.
Sato doesn't care.
Sato hears ya. Sato don't care.
Yeah. Awesome guy. I mean, he was hanging on by a thread. All right, they do manage to get both of their tanks out through. Now you need to make sure that the rest of the team can follow. Sebasai will make it through. Tvik with the Dragon Blade could be the hero that his team have been waiting for here. It's been a lot of talk about Saya, but you still got Tvik. Game-ending ult. I mean, we certainly saw a lot of that yesterday.
Where's the grab below? Where is the follow-up from the rest of the team? They got EQO, but they don't really throw anything else into it. And that is a low-value grab from Logix.
We will have the Primal getting thrown in. So Shadow just looking to punch people in the face as Neptuno brings EQO back. And so that grab for naught, essentially, as Awesome Guy gets trapped by EQO, dead, and Tvik hanging on to this blade forever. Carpe finally gets spotted. He's been just taking pot shots all day, and he's ready. He's waiting for you, Tvik.
This is the most aggressive team in the Overwatch League, and it's a joy to watch. The angles Carpe takes, we all know about that, right? He's a lunatic. EQO sees 4 people and he's like, I'm in. I am in. Hold my dynamite. I got things to do.
I've got to blow them all up. I mean, right now, Philly Fusion, they let 1 point go, but this is not looking good here for Florida Mayhem. 45 seconds on the clock, and they have yet to really get around the bend here. So, Carpe. Oh, he's got targets. You know what? He's going to just go ahead and take Saya player out so there's no answer to him, and then he's going to just get to cut the supports off from the main body of the push.
And they couldn't really even attempt to resurrect that either, because if they go out in that hallway, there's no one to deal with Carpe still, so you're just walking into the enemy at the gates. And Carpe takes down Vic for good measure. Look at the stats. They speak for themselves.
This is how it's supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to be. No respect. No respect.
Yeah.
Florida, you gotta earn Philadelphia Fusion's respect, and right now you're not showing enough.
They're stepping on the throat right now. There's going to be another Riptire up here too. Both support ultimates should be available. Zebo's got to live through the Riptire because he's got Valkyrie coming online soon. EQO's waiting to spot him out. I think that's where the tire's going to go. Look at this aggro play.
Oh, he's gonna find him now. You can see through walls. Here we go! Surprise! EQO now, he's got the tire as well, but he's right in the melee combat, exactly where he wants to be, where he can just do maximum damage with his grenades. Overtime burns down. BM, Trance, and Valk, why not? Because Philadelphia Fusion, they've won the series 4-0, clean sweep, nearly perfect, only giving up a single point, but they did have the perfect map on Oasis. 40 kills to 0. Doesn't get any better than that.
I would love the Philadelphia coaches to really harp on them of like their Dorado first point defense. Like, guys, we have a lot to work on here. There's a lot.
Off. You really let your game down. Unacceptable.
That was just the most aggressive kind of Junkrat play that you see. I mean, obviously, it's hard to take away. It's like, is that how he plays generally? Yeah, kind of, actually. Even when maps matter a little bit more, but that one was just, it looked like you were just having fun.
Yeah, perfect work from Philly Fusion. A well-deserved victory. Really getting the job done in fine fashion. Florida Mayhem sent back to the drawing board. We're going to take a break, and we'll hear what the desk have to say about the series after that.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
Oh, are you
ready to go to lunch? Yeah, dude, let's do it.
Right, but you're riding in the back seat?
Yeah, I mean, why not? It's pretty spacious back here.
Well, sure, but there's plenty of space up front.
Yeah, no, that is true.
So, sit up here?
No, I'm good, bro.
You're good. I'm not good with this entire situation. It's like I'm your chauffeur.
A friend who's going to take his other friend to lunch while they both enjoy the wonderful spaciousness of this vehicle.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, if you don't get us there quickly, by the way, you're not getting 5 stars.
Sir, yes, sir. Right away, sir. Breathman?
Don't talk to me.
Designed and focused around you, the Toyota CHR. Toyota, let's go places.
everyone, this is Zoe and I am joined by Boombox from the Philadelphia Fusion. Love the purple, by the way. It's a nice change from the shock orange you had before, so I appreciate the Gladiator shout out, is it?
Yeah, I mean, had a shock orange and we lost to shock, so I had to change it. That's pretty much it.
So does that mean you're going to lose to the Gladiators?
Hopefully not.
Okay, just checking. Now, let's talk about the game we just saw. We saw Hotbot together with Sado in the lineup. We're more used to Froggy and Poco. How does that affect you as a support player?
Well, Sado and Hobba have a different style. They have multiple play styles, and it's really easy. They create a lot of space, so it's less me like thinking when am I going to be dove, more like how I can help them.
All right. Who's easier to keep alive?
Pardon?
Who's easier to keep alive?
Sado, I guess.
All right, let's go with Sado. One last question. This week, it was the first week on the new patch here in the league, so we got a glimpse of how teams are adjusting to the patch. Do you think any of the teams is ahead of the curve?
I feel like a lot of teams who are trying more Junkrat, Widow, and Brigitte comps are ahead. Like some teams are stuck on dive and they're just losing when they could just try Ryan comps.
All right. Well, you guys are looking absolutely solid. Let's hope you can keep it up for the rest of this stage. Boombox, thank you so much for joining me. And once more, congratulations, of course, to that victory. Now heading over back to Pocket and the desk with a special guest.
Blizzard Arena, show some love for the Fusion. Yes, we got a special guest here on the desk, a beautiful Snillo, the Tracer who did not play today, here with us.
Well, because he's been sat here with us, you know, telling us all of the Philadelphia Fusion secrets.
We've seen them all. Sadly, not a whole lot of Tracers. Well, Carpe ran it for a bit, but mostly it was the Widow we've been watching today and throughout all of Stage 4. Guys, let's talk about how Philadelphia walked away with the 4-0 sweep today, because if you look at the final scoreboard, Florida Mayhem got blanked.
Oh, yeah. Yes. If you look at the final scoreboard, Puckett, this might have been the most one-sided map of control that has ever happened in the Overwatch League. Not a single kill or a point to Florida Mayhem. You can't do better than this for Philly.
Let that sink in. Not a single elimination.
You could not have tried to do worse.
Even when the Shanghai Dragons were at their lowest, struggling, and teams were destroying them, they still managed to get kills. So Florida Mayhem were utterly and completely shut out of this map in totality.
So how do you play this perfect if you're the Philadelphia Fusion?
Well, it came down to their utilization of the Zarya and the Reinhardt. They were so good at staggering their ultimates, getting that high charge from the Zarya into the Reinhardt. Remember, if you get high charge, that is directly translated into how much damage you're going to do. High charge, high damage, you are basically a Terminator.
And then EQO, of course, just hitting every rocket possible there on far as we take a look at Dorado. Florida Mayhem again getting stopped by the Fusion. Boombox popping off with the Zenyatta, but who impressed you most as you guys were watching the Fusion squad on Dorado?
I've got to be honest, I'm still impressed with their tanks. Sado and Hopper have been a great addition to the Philadelphia Fusion. Hopper obviously was sat on the bench, but Sado has just become newly available for the team. And they were really putting all of their eggs in that Sado basket, I think. And then the meta swapped. And he can't run Winston all the time. So you're thinking, is this just going to be his potential ruin, potential wasted? No, actually, Sado is still really good at being able to play the Rhine and the Orisa, at least good enough to be able to fit in with the rest of their team compositions. And his Winston's great. You heard it there from Boombox.
Well, you really heard what he said, specifically when it comes to how he has to think about the game now. It's no longer about how am I staying alive, it's how can I help the team. So he has now less pressure on him, and he can do more as Zenyatta, and we know what Zenyatta's do. Jonak.
All right, let's talk about the Florida Mayhem, this squad. They lose another one this week. That's now 0-2 to kick off Stage 4. What do they need to fix? What's the biggest glaring issue moving forward?
Well, it's got to be their attack, right? Because they were completely locked out. And actually, the defense wasn't too bad. I feel like the rotations on the defense, their head coach Ryder, I think, has done a good job at being able to improve that aspect of their game. But the offense is so poor. They're really bad at being able to take space and take positioning before they execute an attack. And teams are just bullying them at the moment. So that's a clear area for them to work on.
Fellas, it's time to wrap up our first match of the day with the first award of the day. It's time for your Player of the Match, sponsored by Omen by HP. Today, it's Neptuno takes the award.
We notice him. He finally got his recognition for being the most bloodthirsty Battle Mercy there is. He brought it to Saya player. We thought it was going to be Carpet v Saya, but it was Neptuno doing it.
That's
this
right.
guy is a joy to watch because he's changing the way that Mercy's played.
I model my Mercy play directly off Neptuno. If I ever pop a Valkyrie, I'm always in there with the pistol, getting mad value out.
I wonder why you're not Masters?
Why damage boost when you could headshot, kid?
Exactly. Look how effective it is. And Neptuno and Arc, I think, are clearly the two best Mercies in the league. And Neptuno has a much more aggressive style than Arc does.
This is awesome, by the way. That's critical hit accuracy on the Mercy. Widowmakers don't average such high stats.
I mean, it is a completely different weapon.
Listen, let me play my narrative. And then you got Final Blows. The second highest Mercy killings is 8. He's over double the killings of
Final
Mercy
Blows on enemy Mercy.
Yes.
20.
Pretty amazing stuff coming in from Neptuno, guys. He is our player of the match, sponsored by Omen by HP. Before we go, who wants a Snillo pillow? Sleep with Snillo. It can happen. You can take him into your house.
We're not selling that.
Sell it on eBay. Sorry, sleep with a body pillow. That's enough for me. I'm sending it to commercial break. We come back. It's the Shanghai Dragons taking on the Valiant. Don't go anywhere. That got weird.
Taking the objective. Any help would be appreciated.
The Overwatch League is brought to you